Welcome back to Mega Man Unlimited. Hello diddlers, how you diddling? Right, we've beaten Nailman, and I'm not actually going to go in weakness order. I'm going to go in order of convenience, and I'll explain why. We're going to go after Glue Man now. And this stage is actually the stage that I played for the very first time. First time I played this game, this is the stage I started on. And as you can see here, what I was explaining earlier, in the last part, we have a regular metal, and we have it followed up by the metois. These are copter enemies. If I stand here, it will shoot at me. There you go, kill it like that. Now we come to the main gimmick of the stage. It's Glue Man stage, so you're probably thinking, maybe some gluey sort of gimmick, and you'd be correct. This is a gluey floor. This is a gluey floor. You cannot walk on it. You cannot slide on it. You have to jump on it. Kill you again. Respawn. And these enemies, I love these enemies because if I shoot it like this, I actually wanted to fire back at me, but it missed horribly. But you get the idea. So what you need to do is shoot it in such a way that it will fire the shots back in a direction that is nowhere near you. So, you know, as you can see now, they're stacking up the challenge, you know, 2 platforms with only 1 enemy, and now they're increasing the challenge. This enemy will only shows its head, which is the weak part, or it shows it at regular intervals, but that's the only bit you can shoot. Rather. It seems that we're in some sort of blue factory. I really do like the aesthetics of this stage. I love the blue platforms and the sort of the pink aesthetic as well. This game's spines. We do not have anything at the moment that can kill that thing, but there are weapons in the game that will allow you to do that. We just don't have it yet. And I missed that. Let's try that again, shall we? Now again, this is where the difficulty ramps up, because you've got some really precise jumps you've got to do here. My recommendation is actually staying here, shooting this thing. That will shoot that bediddler down there. Very careful here. Precise jumps. Spikes, as you may or may not know, instant death. Don't touch them. It's not going to be good news for you. Now we're going to try out the weapon that we got from Nailman, which is a nail shield. A very good place to try it. Don't worry about anything. Watch this. Not interested in that. Sorry, mate. Now we've introduced these conveyor belts as well. We've got another one of the gimmicks of the stage. Don't worry about any of that. We've got the nail shield, and we can refill with this. Thank you very much indeed, sir. So we continue our trek through the glue factory. This really is an excellent shield. The Mega Man series has a lot of shields of varying quality, and this is certainly one of the better ones. This one does run out eventually, and but what I like about it is that for every nail that hits an enemy, it will do continuous damage. Not that I can demonstrate it there, because that was nearly dead anyway. It does go away when you leave the screen though. And also, you can fire it off by pressing the attack button. Take that! I love that. We'll do that again. I'm surprised it didn't die. Nail shield, not a good weapon to use on those things. A little bit of refill here. Right, this is probably one of the hardest jumps in the level, but we made it. No, we're not going to use the nail shield here. We're just going to do it properly. Here we have one of the stage's first mini bosses. There are more. Called a Platypresser. I killed it quite quickly, so I didn't really have much time to talk about it. It's our first checkpoint. We now come to an enemy that you'll just kill it immediately. It's probably what your reaction is going to be to it. If you don't, let's see if I can demonstrate it here, it will shock you like that. So you want to kill that thing as fast as you can. Another metal. And we'll call this thing again. One thing I do want to say about this stage, and I only mentioned the composer's name, I didn't mention what I think of the soundtrack overall. The soundtrack in this game is excellent. it's a phenomenal piece of work, and I think Gloomancy might just be my favourite piece of, could be my favourite piece in the whole game. I love it. It's triumphant, it's melancholic, it's a fine piece of music. Yeah, I'm a fan of it. Some health there if you need it, which we don't. We played reasonably well so far. I'm not too upset with how we're done. Another platypusser. Not platypusser. A platypusser, I should say. But that's not it. We now come to the hardest of the bosses, but we're going to use the nail shield on this one. As you can see, it throws out eggs, and when it hits the ground, you're stunned. And that should be enough. There you go, a few nail shields, and you're laughing. No more of them. You don't have to worry about having to deal with another one of those. No more platypussers. You've got two routes here. I recommend taking the top route because there are goodies up here, and we like goodies. No. Oh, of course, I've forgotten that we'd actually got Rush Jet from this stage. So let me just show. Not really a good place to show it off, and I've got that helicopter thing continuously firing me, and that's what you do with it. Didn't really need to use it there, but it can get you across some pretty hazardous obstacles. Well worth, if you want that as fast as possible, refill our nail shield. If you want that as fast as you possibly can, then might I recommend going after Nailman first. Right. Coming to the climax of the stage. Glue combined with conveyor belts, combined with spikes, combined with these shocker enemies. Some very, very precise drops. This one here in particular is pretty rough, you know, and we managed it. That's pretty difficult, actually. That's you might want to die there because you might, you know, offshoot it. So caution is advised. Think about the nail shield again. I like to use the weapons, and they're just fun to use. Right, now we come to Glue Man himself. Now I certainly, this was my first level, and I certainly gamed over on it, and Glue Man was one of the reasons. The fact is, my first time playing it, you know, with Glue Man, you're expecting, for some reason I was expecting a slow boss, Glue, you know, who sort of splodge about. That's what I was expecting, but that's not what we had. He's actually pretty fast. And at first, he's quite daunting, but in fact he's pretty simple. He's not a bad person to go after first. He's actually very pattern-based, and he only has, well, he technically has 2 attacks, but there's only one thing that he does that will damage you, and that is his body. If he makes contact with you, if you do get glued, that's what happens, and he'll ram into you like that. And glue blocks that he shoots at you, they behave exactly like the glue platforms in the game itself. You cannot run or slide on them. But he's gone. And there's a reason that I wanted to go to him first, because his weapon will help us access some, let's say, hidden areas that I look forward to showing you later on. And here's the weapon we get from him. There we are. Forms a platform, and you can also stick enemies. Quite a lot of enemies actually with that. Let's save-a-roo. There we go. And thank you very much for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode.